Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. This is Angel from Simply Angel Tia. If you're new to my channel, I would like to officially welcome you and thank you for joining us. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much again for coming back. So this is what I'll be showing you guys how to make in this video. As you can see, I'm modeling the top. It's a nice crop top that I decided to make last minute just because I haven't done tops in a while, and I decided, hey, I gotta do something nice and cute. So if I back up a little bit, I'm against the wall now, so I cannot go too far back. But as you can see, I have this red line, this red color, kind of pretty much doing the borders of the whole crop top. I have the strap that comes all the way from here to the back, and now I have a little bit of it hanging on the side here like this. Is super cute. It ends just right above my belly button, so it's nice and kind of sexy and showy a little bit here because you have a little bit of your tummy left out. You don't have to make it like this. Of course, you can make it so it covers food, or you can even make it shorter so it's like completely like a bralette. I'll show you guys the back. Okay, so it's super cute. I love to do the straps this way. It has like the big X on top, and then it kind of does the zigzag here as well. Okay, and like I said, the straps are long enough that I actually have these coming all the way and joining up in the front like this. So anyways, without further ado, this is what I'll be making with you in this video, so don't go anywhere. If you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. And at the end of this video, I would like to get some comments from you guys as to what you think about it. Or if you don't like it, just comment below and tell me why. Maybe there's a reason you don't like it, maybe the colors, or maybe just the design of it. But leave a comment below and we'll discuss as to what you think about it. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get to the video and let's get it started. Hey guys, welcome again to my channel. So thank you so much for staying on the video so we can make this crop top together. So as you can see here, I have these two colors that I'm using. I would put all the information about these two yarns in the description box, especially the color. I know it's 100% acrylic, but size and things like that, recommended hook size and stuff like that, I will put everything in the description box. So don't forget to check the description box before you start, okay? The other thing that we're going to need is a crochet hook. So I'm using this 5.00 millimeter crochet hook to do this project. So this is the most comfortable for me. It's actually recommended that I use a 5 as well on the yarn, so that's what I'm using. Okay, and then you're going to need your scissors to cut your yarn at the end of the project, as well as a tape measure to make sure you're making your top at the right size that you're looking for. Okay, so I'm just gonna put these things away so we can get started. So this is the one that I'm going to be using to do the majority of the top, just because I have more of it. As you can see, this is the only amount that I have left in this color. So I'm just going to add a little bit of accent with this, but the rest of the project will be in this nice beautiful green color. So we'll go ahead and get started. Now, as I'm setting up my yarn here, I just wanted to say, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, you guys. I know sometimes you watch the video and you did not subscribe and you did not finish making your project, and then you go back to look for it and you cannot find it. Hey, subscribe, and that way if I post future videos as well, you have access to it right away. And I know everything I post is not gonna be something for you, but hey, if 1 out of 5 is something that you would really like to try, it's best that you subscribe. That way you see it when it comes your way. Anyways, thank you for doing that. So we'll get started. So as you can see, I have my yarn here, and we're going to start off by doing the cups of the top, okay, the breast cup. So I am going to go ahead and do a slip knot, and this is how I do my slip knot here. For those of you who have seen my videos, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, now that I have my slip knot like that, I'm going to do a chain of 11, and this is because my breast size is an A cup. So if you're making it for your size, which is maybe a B, a C, or even bigger, then the number of chain you start off with here will have to be more. I usually, as a thumb of rule, say if you're an A, you do about 11 or 12. If you're a B, you do about 14. If you're just kind of increase the number of chains by about 2 or 3 or 4. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do our 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And another quick pro tip here is that I do 11 because I'm not going to be going into this 11th one when I work my project back this way. When I work my chain back, we're not going to go into this 11. So really you're going to be working with 10 chains at the end of it all, okay? So we're going to do, so we skip this chain here, or this stitch here, and in this next one we're going to do a half double crochet, and you just kind of yarn over, go into the next space there, yarn over, and go through all 3 loops on the hook like that. So that's a half double crochet, and then you're going to do that in the next 9 stitches as well, okay? So you're just going to do this, and there's many, you can use many different stitches to do your bra cup. I'm choosing to do this half double crochet. I have done tops in the past that I've used a single crochet, so you can really, I've also used double crochet to do it. So it really depends on how you want it. Obviously the single crochet is much tighter, so it's good, and it's not, you know, it's not see-through. And usually if you go towards like something like a double crochet, it becomes a little bit loose, but so it's all up to you. But for this particular one, we're going to be using a half double crochet, okay? So as you can see, I have done the half double crochet all the way from here to the end. I have one more stitch to go, and I'm going to do 1 half double crochet there in that last space, another half double crochet in the same space, just like that. I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to do 2 more half double crochets in that same space. So 1 and 2, okay? Now this is, we did 4 in total in the last stitch here, and this is because we're trying to create that loop where this top is going to start, make it look like a diamond, okay? So, and then you turn your work slightly like this, and then you're going to continue to do your half double crochet in every stitch going towards the left like this, okay? So there, the next one here, and so on and so forth. So you're gonna take this all the way past all these 10 stitches on the opposite side of where we just came from, okay? There we go. And if you're new to crocheting, just take your time. If this is too fast for you, I'm actually trying to go really slow right now. Usually I crochet a lot faster than that, but because I'm showing you guys how to do something, it's fair that I go slow so that you guys are seeing what I'm doing here, okay? And so as you can see, this is the last, oh, this is one here, and that's the last one, okay? And that's how it looks like so far. So as you can see, just because we did the 4 half double crochets in the same space here with a chain 1 in between the 4, we start to see that it's kind of making that shape, okay? And we're just gonna count this to make sure we have 10. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So we actually have 9, which means we go into this very last space here as well to get our 10th. Oops, let's try that again. There you go, to get our 10th stitch like that, okay? And then we're going to chain 2. So 1 2, you turn your work around like this. So now you're working on the back, and you will know that it's the back because you have this tail of where we started our chain up from. So that's gonna be the back of your work, and keep that in mind, because when we do connect our cups together to make the remaining of the top, you need to make sure these are on the same side. So now that you have done your chain 2, in the very next stitch here, you're going to go right into it and do your half double crochet there, okay? And then in the next, and then in the next, okay? So as you can see, we're just using this same stitch all throughout the project, and it's very nice and easy and fast, and there's no tricks, so you don't have to worry about any trick coming up. And so that's why I call this for beginner as well, because it's very easy for someone who is new to learn, and the people who are also intermediate and advanced can do it. Okay, so now we have done our last one here. We're now back to the top of this area here where we did our 4 half double crochets in the same space, and we're going to repeat that. So we're going to go here and go right into the top of that and do your half double crochet, do another one, do your chain 1, and then do 2 more in the same space, which is that top area. Okay, so we're going to repeat that again here. So 1 and 2. Okay, and now that we have the 4 half double crochets in the same space, we're going to go and do our next half double crochet in the next stitch. There you go. And then in the next stitch, and then in the next stitch. Okay, so I will stop here so we can see what we have so far. Okay, so as you can see, this is us creating the cup right here. Okay, and so this is what we repeat. So I will be taking these all the way to here, go all the way to the very end here, chain 2, turn your work, and then repeat what we just did over. When you get to this end, you chain 2, you go around and repeat that again, and you're going to do this until you get the size that you're looking for to cover your full breast. Okay, so for me, because I'm a petite girl in terms of breast size, I will probably do about 7, maybe 8 rows total. Keep in mind, I already have 1, 2, and I'm working on well, this is, let's look at it this way. So this is 1, you see where this line is running through? The next one to it is the first row, and this is our second row. So I'm going to finish my second row on this side, and when I chain 2 and turn around, I'm starting my third row. So that's what I mean by doing 7 to 8 rows. That is what we're counting, is when you loop around once, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, until you get the size. And at this point, you're going to pretty much, you can even try putting the cup against your breast to see if it fully covers. And of course, if you wanted to show a little bit of the side boobie, it's up to you. So you just make sure you do it a little bit smaller than what it would take to cover the full breast. Okay, so go ahead and do that. I'm going to add some of the red color as the last row of this cup. So which means if I want to do 8, I will do 7 in this color, and then I will come back and change the color and add the 8th row as the other color. So go ahead, and if you're not changing colors at all, just complete your cup by doing all the rows that you require to cover your breast. And when I come back, I will show you guys how to change the color and then how to start the next portion of the project. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey loves, welcome back. So this is where I'm going to stop with my bra cup. I'm going to end up doing about 7 because I tried these over my breast, and I'm going to be doing one more row of these with a different color, the red one, but I need a total of, I believe, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 here, 7 total with the red round that I'm about to do. So now that we are at the end here, okay, so I did my very last half double crochet in that space there. What I will do is I have my scissors, and I'm going to cut this yarn somewhere about here. Okay, and now that that's cut off, I have my red yarn that I'm going to be doing the last row with. And what I do here is I actually undo the last stitch like that, and then I'm going to tie this other color, and I do my knot like this, and I do it just enough that whatever I have left here is what I'm going to be using to do the last half double crochet here. So I'm going to just kind of pull it right there like that. Now this is how I do it. If you've crocheted in the past, or you know, like you're a vivid crocheter, you may have a different way of changing color. This is typically how I change color, because I don't like to cut these off, fasten it, and then connect these back here. So this is how I do it, and then I just cut the excess yarn like that, and then I go back in. So I'll put my red yarn away, then I go back in and I do my last stitch of half double crochet here, just like that. Okay, and then now that I have that, I am going to chain 2. So 1, 2, just like we've done. I turn my work, and then I am going to go ahead and continue to do my half double crochet from that very first stitch there, and I'm going to continue to do that in each stitch going down that way. I'm going to just undo this here because it's a little bit loose. What I did at the end here is a little bit loose, so I'm going to make sure I fix that because I don't want it to be like that. So I'm going to do this one more time like this. Okay, chain 1, chain 2. There you go. So now it looks better. And this is the fun thing about crochet. If you notice something, when it's not too late and you notice something and you want to fix it, you just go back and fix it. The worst would be if you have kind of worked your way a long way and then you notice something that you did wrong. You don't want to undo most of your work to go fix it, but that's why you need to keep an eye on your work and make sure everything is looking proper as you go. That way you can correct a mistake before you go too far. Anyways, so as you can see here, I am just going to go ahead and continue to do a full row of the red color to make my 7th row. Okay, and I'm going to continue to do these all along here. Do the same thing here where you do your 2 half double crochets, chain 1, 2 half double crochets, and then you continue. And then you're going to actually continue here as well. So when you get to this corner here, chain 1, and then do your half double crochets along this space here. Okay, and with this, because we don't have very definite stitch spaces like this, you're going to find probably a space right here, a space here, a space right here, space here, space right here, space here. So just make sure you're working in the same distance that we have for the stitches here over here. So don't make it too gappy and don't make it too tight either, way it's gonna look like there's too many stitches on this side. But that will give us a full row of these red color, and then when you come back, I will show you how to do the torso part of your top. So go ahead and do so, and I will see you guys in just a few minutes. Okay guys, so I completed my 7th row with this red color to outline the green color here for my cup. So as you can see, I've already kind of fastened it off here. So as soon as I did my last half double crochet here, I cut the yarn and I fastened it off because I'm gonna be working on the 2nd cup. But this is pretty much how it looks like. As you guys can see, it looks very nice. But what do you think about these colors? I don't know. I like it. I like that it has the Christmassy theme to it. But I don't know what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these colors. But I like it nevertheless. So anyways, so this is how your first cup should look like. That is the completed one. If you have a bigger breast, it may, you know, have a little bit more of a size to it, bigger size to it, but nevertheless, if you're making it at this exact same size, it should look something like this. And this is how it's going to go over your breast. So this is going to be right below the breast, and then this is going to be towards your collarbone. Okay, so this is how it should look like. So go ahead and do your 2nd cup, and you just repeat exactly what we did with this one. So if you're not sure and you just kind of want to refresh yourself again, just rewatch this video, go all the way to the beginning and rewatch it to see how we started off, and then do the 2nd cup. When you have the 2nd cup, come back and we will go ahead and start the bottom part of our top. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, welcome back. So I just finished my 2nd cup. As you can see, this is it here. The yarn is still attached to it. So this is how your 2 cups should look like. As you can see here, they're very even, and you could even kind of put them together like this to make sure they're actually the exact same size. Okay, but the best thing is to make sure you have the exact number of rows. But just in case you did not count, you can just kind of line it up like this to see if it's exact same size, and this is usually how you will know that you made the same number of rows. Okay, so now that we have that, as you can tell, as you can see, we have these tails where we started our chains on this side, which I consider is the inside of the top, because when I wear these later, it's going to be like this, so that this nice and neat size is the one that's going to be showing. But as you work on it, you're going to place it like this. Okay, this is where the string, the red yarn, is still connected to. This is where we cut the red yarn earlier. And the most important thing here first, so I'm just going to flip it like this. Oh, maybe let's do this over. We're going to flip it so that I can work by connecting these here. Okay, maybe we'll just leave it like this. Anyways, so the first thing is going to be that we connect this side to this side just by kind of putting our hook right here, and then going over and bringing the yarn over from that side, and then doing a slip knot like that. Okay, so now that I have my 2 cups connected like this, I am going to do the chain 15 on this side. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so that is 15 chains, and just like we did with the cup, because I'm going to be working on the next stitch, not the first one, we're going to add 1 more chain. Okay, and now that I have that, we're going to flip our work like this, and as you can see, by doing that, the chain is kind of facing the back of the chain is facing you, but that's okay. We're going to find a way to work with that. And now that you have that, you still have these stitches here that you can go over. So you're going to do a half double crochet in the very next stitch from the hook like this, and then in the next. Okay, so we're going to do these half double crochets just like we've been doing for the rest of the project from the beginning, and we're going to do this all across this chain, and then of course across the 2 cups. Okay, so by that, what I mean is you're going to work through along this chain here, and then you're just going to continue all along here. Your last one of this cup is going to be right where this yarn is, and then you're going to go right over to the other side and do another half double crochet there, and then you continue with the same thing all the way to the very corner of your work here. When you get here, you do your chain 16 again on this side, and then you turn your work and you continue to work that stitch back inwards. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do about 4, maybe this is considered row 1, by the way, the red one here, and this is the second row that we're bringing back in, and I think I'm going to do 3 or 4. I'm not exactly sure, about 3 or 4, depending on how much yarn I have left of the red one, and then we're going to switch back to this color. So do the number of rows that you desire for this color if you have changed colors. If you're not changing color at all, then you pretty much continue to build your work as low as you want to cover your torso. Okay, sorry about that. So you're going to build your work as low as it's going to take to cover your torso, and when you have that, come back to the video and we'll finish the project. But if you're changing color, I will be back in a few to show you guys how to change back to this green color. Okay, see you in a bit. Hey y'all, welcome back. So I am back to show you guys how to change color here. So for those of you who are just continuing to do the same color, you don't have to, you can forward part of this video here. But for those who are changing color, I'm coming here really quick to show you how to change color. Now, as you can see, I did 3 rows of this red color, 1 2 3, and I stopped here for a reason, okay? And then if you come to right beneath the breast here, the cups, it's 4 total rows, because I have this first row that I did as around around the cup. So that's 1 2 3 4, okay? So I'm stopping here in specific because if you remember, the way we started off is we started on one side, which was this side here, and we chained 15, and then we worked our way back this way, went all the way across, and then chain 15. So when you do that, if I was to take these all the way from here to this end and then finish it here, this side would have 4 rows total here, and this side will still have 3. Okay, so what I'm doing here, and this is a really good tip for you guys to know, because if you're changing colors, this is definitely gonna look like one side have more rows than the other. But if you're to do the same color and you just continue, you will eventually stop where you know there's equal number of rows. But because we're changing color here, I'm actually going to end this red color here, which is kind of where we started this side. So therefore, this side will have 3 rows, and this side here will have 3 rows of this red color. So, but instead of just stopping here and cutting the yarn off, what I'm going to do is, so as you can see, I did my last half double crochet here, and then in the next one, I'm just going to do like a slip knot like that, and I'm going to do another slip knot right in the next, or slip stitch, sorry, slip stitch in the next one like that, okay? So now I'm going to cut these off here. Okay, so we get rid of our red yarn there. And then I'm going to fasten these off here, just like that, okay? And then we make it tight. So as you can see, it doesn't look like we had a sudden stop here. It just looked like it's a continuation here with a little bit of a dent here, but this is something we will fix when we go back this way, okay? So this is where we're gonna end this here. You can either, which is what I will do a knot here. I'm not a big fan of weaving in the ends because I struggle to weave in the ends, and sometimes they end up kind of pulling themselves out, and then you have a project that has a yarn sticking out in the middle of nowhere. So what I do is I do it like this, and then I just cut off the excess like that, okay? So now that this color is done, what we're going to do is take this color back, which is the green color, and we're going to reattach it. And at this point, you can do whatever. You can either attach it on this side or you can attach it on this side, but either way, you're going to attach it at the beginning of one side, not halfway where we ended the other one. So if I'm going to show you these guys, this here really quick, I'm going to attach it at this end. Okay, so I have my yarn in my finger like that. I'm going to do, okay, we're going to do a slip knot like that, and then take this corner here, and I'm going to attach my yarn at the very beginning of this stitch here, and I'm going to do a slip stitch like that. Okay, now that I have my slip stitch at this end, I'm going to do my chain 2 just as I would have done before I turned the work back the other way, and I'm going to go ahead and continue to work in the next stitch. So this stitch is where we do our chain 1, and then I'm going to continue to do my half double crochet in that stitch just like that, okay? And then I will move on to the next stitch and do my half double crochet there, and then in my next I do my half double crochet there. And then this is pretty much now how you're going to build up your work to the end. Okay, so so this is the second color that we have there. So what I'm going to do here is I want my top to go just right above my belly button. Okay, so in other words, where it is right now, I would probably end up doing 4 rows, 4 to 5 more rows for these to end up just right above my belly button. But because I am not 100% sure how it's gonna, sorry about that, I just dropped my scissors because I don't know how it's gonna look. What I will do is I will do an extra 4 rows here of this color, and then I will stop and try it on me to see how far down it goes in my down my torso. And if I need more rows, then I just keep adding until I find the size that I find is good for me. And when I reach it, I will stop there. So that's what I'm gonna do. So work your second color as far as you want it to go down your torso, and then when you are satisfied with the size, come back and I'll show you guys what to do next. Okay, so see you guys in a bit. Hey beautifuls, welcome back. So this is done. I mean, almost done, not yet, but almost there. So we have just a few steps to go and then we're done. So as you can see here, I know when I first talked to you guys, I said I was gonna do a few rows, but I underestimated how this is actually 10 rows in here, you guys, because it's half double crochet. It doesn't build up really fast. So as you can see here, I have 10 of this green color in the middle after my last 3. So we'll actually use this as the count because this has that first row there that I did, but there's actually 10 rows of this green. There's the 3 red that we did together, and then I added 10 more, and then I did 3 more at the end here. So the reason I ended up doing it like this is because I realized that I actually had the border of the red all around the work. So by the time that I finished the row 10 of this green color, I had just a little bit of the red left, and I decided, hey, just kind of make the red the border of this green color all together. That way it's all kind of in the middle. Okay, so I ended up doing 3 more rows of this red, and as you can see here, I ended up doing the borders on the sides as well. So after I finished my 3 rows here, I just moved the yarn that I had and did 2 rows of half double crochet on this side, and then also made spaces where I'm going to be putting the strap. So as you can see here, I had a chain 2 before I went like this, and then I have another chain 2 here, okay, before I moved in inwards, and then another chain 2 here, and then another chain 2 at the end. So that's where my straps are going to go, and that kind of mirrors this side as well, where I have these gaps that I created so that I can put my straps in. Okay, so that's the update so far. The other update that I have is, because we're going to put straps here of about maybe 150 chains or so. It will depend on how long you want your strap to be. So I decided to do one side of camera, which is this side here. I created a really long strap. I think I counted until 100, and after that I gave up, but it's probably between 150 to 200 chains total here. Okay, so I want this strap to be really long because when I do put it in here, if there's a lot left, I wouldn't mind wrapping this around my to the front and then have a nice cute tie on the side. So I am going to also do this. So I left this unfinished so that I can show you guys how to attach your yarn and do the strap here. So like I said, I already did this side, so this is how it looks like. Okay, and I decided to do this color because again, we finished the border here with the red, so it looks really nice to do this green color with the border, with the strap, so that it kind of has a nice contrast with the border of this red color. Okay, so let's go ahead and start the strap for this side, and then this project will be done, you guys. So we bring in our green color yarn, and as I always do, I wrap it around my finger so I have a nice secure tight control of the yarn. By the way, I don't know how you guys do to make sure this your work is even, because I get a lot of compliments that my work is very even. There's no spaces that has loose stitches and some that has like tight stitches. They're very even. I kind of credit it to the fact that I put my yarn in my finger like this. This could be just maybe even not the reason why my work is even. Maybe I'm just, you know, like I just have a way to working evenly. But for me, the way I have it like this, it controls how much yarn I bring in every time I work. So I don't know. Anyways, that's just my theory. So I just did a slip knot here. Okay, now that I have my slip knot, this is going to be the inside of my top. Like I said, we have these tails that are hanging, which is where we had our the very first foundation chain started here. And I still have those on because they guide me as to what side I want to be for what side. Okay, so I still have them on, but pretty much when this top is done, I will kind of knot these and cut them off, and this is going to be how my top is going on me. So this is where my boobies are gonna go, and then this is how the top is gonna go on me. It's kind of like this. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm holding it like this while I'm putting my strap on, is because it's gonna look nice, and it's going to make it so that the inside of the chain is facing you, which is going to be going on your skin. Okay, and then the outside of the chain, which is this part that has these bumpy gaps or bumpy spaces, kind of look like little bridges. This is going to be what goes on the outside of my skin, so it makes it look really nice. Anyways, long story short, let's move on and start the strap on this side. So I have my slip knot like that. I'm going to go into, remember this chain 2 space that we did to create these 4 half double crochet, but in the middle is divided or separated by chain 1. I'm going right into that space, and I'm going to bring my yarn over, and I'm going to do a slip stitch just like that. Okay, this is going to automatically face the opposite side, but that's okay. I'll show you how to bring it in. So, and then from here you're going to do your chains. So you go ahead and create your chains. I'm not gonna count because I lost count on the other side. So what I'll do is I will chain as many as I can, and as I go I will be measuring it with the other one, and when I have the exact same length is where I will stop. And sometimes if you go a little bit past, you could just undo the chains and make sure you're matching it. But I think it's better to do this than to count the number of chains you're doing. For me, I find it very hideous to just go 1 or 2 and then all the way to 200 chains. Like, it's really, I don't like it. So in most cases, I would rather measure how long I want the chain to be, and then just do however many number of chains it requires for me to attain that length. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do the chains. So why don't you do the same? Go ahead and get your chain going on, and when you have the length of the strap that you're looking for, come back and we will wrap it up, and this will be the end of this nice beautiful project. Okay, so we are done here. So I did my second strap. Okay, so as you can see here, anyways, I folded my work this way so I could measure how long the chain is for the second one to make sure it matches with the first one. So this is pretty much how my chain looks. If I go all the way to the end, it's exactly the same height or the same length. And then also I made sure I have a little bit of a tip here. It just looks kind of nice and cute. You don't have to do the same. You could fasten it off and then just cut it at the edge, but I like it like that. Okay, so let's just put some of these materials away so we have space to kind of showcase what we have. So as you can see, so this is my top here. Okay, I still have this yarn here, so what I will do is I will fasten it off, and I just do something like that. I don't do the weaving in. If you're a weaver in, please go ahead and weave your ends in for these tails here that are from the beginning of our project. But what I do is I just tie them off like that. I take my scissors and I cut off as close to the edge there as possible, just like that. And then what I often do is I just kind of tuck in the tail. It's so little that it just kind of goes in between the stitches, and then you don't see it, so you just kind of bury it like that. So there you go. So you don't see it anymore like that. And this is going to be the inside of my top anyway, so when I put it on, it's gonna go like this. That's why I have this facing up. The other thing is I already took care of this when I did it, but the strap that we just did, as you can see, the yarn is hanging right here. So what I do is, because this is going to be the inside of my top, I'm going to put my crochet hook in the space where we did the slip stitch earlier, and I'm going to bring the yarn over to this side like this. Okay, now that I have it hanging here, I'm going to go into this space in here. I'm going to grab a smaller crochet hook just so I can get in here. So I just kind of go in that space, and again, you struggle a little bit with this kind of stuff, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So there you go. I'm almost there. There you go. So I just go in there and I bring the yarn through and kind of knot it, bring it like this. And while it's hanging like that, I take this, I tie it again like that, and I pull it through. Okay, like that. And then I do one more knot just to secure it completely. And that way you don't have your work unraveling on you, because that will be a pain to fix. Or maybe not. Okay, now that I knot it there, I cut these off. Okay. Put my scissors away, and then I just tuck this tail in between here like this. So there you go. And if you use your nails, you could just bury this knot all together inside of a stitch, which I'm having difficulty doing right now. Could be my nails. Anyways, you get the idea. And the same thing I did here. Okay, so we'll put these crochet hooks away. Okay, so now that this is our completed work, okay, and you can stretch your work, you can just kind of work with it. Now you're going to fold your work in like this, because this is going to be the inside of our top. If you fold it in like this, okay, this is what you have. And then we're going to take the strap on the right hand side. Make sure you have it facing downwards. Okay, and you're going to put that strap at the first spot here that we have for our strap, and you're going to have it going from the inside outwards. Okay, now if you're unable to put that just using your fingers, you can also use a crochet hook by kind of putting the crochet hook through the hole and bringing it out. Okay, now that I have these here, I'm going to take the other left side strap, again making sure it's nice and straight. Okay, and I'm going to do the same on this side, where I bring the strap from underneath this chain 2 space from earlier. And this time I'm going to use a crochet hook, because with the long nails it's not very effective. But this is a very big gap. Sometimes when you have nails, it makes it hard. So if you have a crochet hook like that, it makes it really easy to do that. Okay, so as you can see, so far you have an X. This will go right on top of the back, your back. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the other strap from the right. Okay, you're going to keep this down, and in this other space here, you're going to bring the strap through. This one is easy to do with just my nail, like that. Okay, and then while this is down like that, you do the same on this side. Bring it from underneath. Okay, so now you have your second X right in the first strap there. Then this is the one from the right again. You're going to bring it here. Maybe I need this. It's crazy. You just use the tools around you. So there's no particular rule that says you must do it like this. So if you can get it through the hole, you do it. Okay, and then we take the one from the left. You bring it through this space here. I cannot believe we're at the end of this project. I had so much fun doing this with you guys, and believe it or not, it probably took what, 2 hours to do this, which is super cool. Okay, and then so this is again the one from the right. Okay, and we're going to bring it underneath. This time I'm going to use a crochet hook again, because for some reason this is the tighter one, even though it's a big gap like that. Where is my guy? Right here. Okay, let me just move around and bring this guy here. Okay, there you go. So that is the end of this side here, and then one more for Mr. left side strap. There you go. Okay, So this is it, you guys. So this is your top. This is how you're gonna put it on. Obviously when you put it on, it may have a much bigger gap like this, depending on how wide you are. But the way I did mine, it will probably, when I put it on, it will have that much of a gap in between. But look at how nice the strap work is here. Look at that, it's so beautiful. And so when you put it on, you're just going to have to adjust it and pull it around, and maybe even make sure somebody's helping you to make sure the straps are lined up. But the reason I do the straps this long, look at how much more excess I have. And for one reason, I'm gonna probably end up going like this and then bringing it around the front. It's gonna look nice. But also, if you're putting it on yourself, you can expand this as much as you can without the straps coming off. So you can pull it so that this can go over your head, and then that, and then these are long enough for you to still be able to pull and be able to adjust your straps without really someone helping you. So this is the reason why I like doing long straps like this. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed doing this with me. This is the front of the top. So when you put it on, it's gonna have this as the front, and then this is the back with the nice beautiful straps. You can switch the straps by maybe fastening it in a different way, but I love this like zigzag design on the end. It looks like zigzags as well as X's. So yeah, so this is the end of this project, you guys. Thank you so much. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment if you would like, ask questions. Maybe you want to recommend something that I can do next. And thank you so much for doing this with me today. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in my next video. Ciao, ciao.